Hi, and welcome to yet another episode of No Edges. Like, they're all gone. There's no edges left. First and foremost, before I get into everything, okay, I need you, right, guys, I need you to like, I need you to subscribe, I need you to comment and share and follow me on all socials. No, subscribe. Now I need you to subscribe, okay? Because I need to get out of the ghetto. So today we're going to talk about my trip to Woburn Safari Park. It's not every day that I'm at home ranting about man, ranting about food. No, sometimes I actually leave the house sometimes. I know it's shocking. But yeah, I went to Woburn Safari Park and it was a delightful experience. I thought, you know what, it's time to explore the UK, and I stumbled across Woburn Safari Park. I decided to go for my mum's birthday. I said to her, look, Mum, we're gonna go to the zoo and we're gonna see your relatives. I'm joking. Where am I? Anyways, so I can literally hear all the questions that you have to ask. Where is it? How long did it take to get there? How much does it cost to get in? And I'm gonna answer all your questions. I'm gonna need you to get a pen and paper because it's a seminar, baby. No, actually, it's not a seminar. It's just me rambling on. But yeah, just, you know, relax. And yeah, we're gonna get into it. Before we begin everything about the park, yeah, you know me, I like to inform, entertain, and educate. We're just gonna go into a brief history of how Woburn Park came about. Woburn Safari Park is actually a part of the Woburn estate, which is owned by the Russell family. When I looked at the family and I looked at their wealth, they are linked to Henry VIII and Edward V and them. I was like, wow. In 1547, one guy called John Russell was the advisor to Henry VIII. Henry VIII gave him a title, the first Earl of Bedford, and was given this estate. Centuries later, 1970 to be exact, Woburn Safari Park was formed by a family member. Can we just pause for a whole second? So this guy was an advisor to Henry VIII. And because of his position, because of the work that he must have done for Henry VIII, his family, till this day, is reaping the benefits. And that's the kind of legacy that we all need to be looking at. We need to leave something on this earth that in years, many years to come, our ancestors are reaping. This guy probably weren't even interested in no safari, but his family is still making money off of his estate. Man was in the palace as an advisor, probably telling Henry, don't eat that chicken, Henry. Don't wear those shoes, Henry. Don't behead your wife, Henry. You have to have the mindset that I am planting a seed for my lineage so that several years later, your family is still reaping because, man, it's not funny being broke, you know. Anyways, the park was initially established by the 13th Duke of Bedford to put him in a better financial position because the estate had gone into disrepair because of the Second World War. When the 12th Duke died, the 13th Duke, his son, was exposed to death duties of £10 million. And the Abbey estate was half demolished and a half derelict estate. Instead of handing the family estates to the National Trust, he kept ownership and opened the Abbey to the public for the first time in 1955.
As the traction engine disappears from our roads and farms, it's beginning to find a new status, that of a collector's piece. A rally at the Duke of Bedford's Woburn Abbey estate attracts a fine turnout, and the Duke himself, greeted by a chorus of whistles, drives the Duchess in Kitchener, an engine of 1920 vintage. The Duke's clearly enjoying himself. Well, it's enough to make a man forget the £5 million in death duties he owes the Chancellor.
It soon gained popularity, and in its first 10 years, it had ticket sales of £8.2 million, helping to pay much off of the death duties. Other amusements were added, such as Woburn Safari Park, on the grounds of the Abbey in 1970. Asked about the other unfavourable comments by the other aristocrat when he turned the family home into a safari park, the 13th Duke said, "I do not relish the scorn of peerage, but it is better to be looked down on than overlooked." Yes, speak it, Russell. So let's now get into information about Woburn Safari Park. Woburn Safari Park is situated in Bedfordshire and is the home to endangered and exotic animals, from lions to tigers to rhinos and giraffes, plus some smaller residents such as red otters, red pandas, otters, and sea lions. They have a humongous and diverse range of animals. The safari park itself covers 360 acres. You couldn't even walk if you tried. You'd be walking for 40 days and for 40 nights just to get to one end to another. Now this place here is the perfect family place, like for a family day outing. Like I said, I took my mum to see her relatives and she enjoyed it. She was very apprehensive about going initially, but once she got into the thrill of things, she started to enjoy herself and really open up. I also think it's a great place for anyone that's dating or in a relationship. The scenery, the fresh air, you know, you and your boo thing, you're just gonna have so much enjoyment. Even the animals, they are so hilarious. One monkey was just climbing all the cars and enjoying itself. Like, it was a marvelous thing to see. And it's just so mentally good for you to be in nature and to be around animals. This place is so romantic. Somebody had their wedding there. Somebody's getting married here. They're all in there. They were in there. Yeah. Somebody with their wedding hat. All the wedding guests. I couldn't believe it. I was thinking, raw, like, I wouldn't mind getting married there. Well, no, I don't want to get married in the UK. I don't want to get married in the UK. No. But yeah, I can see the romantic aspect of things. I can see why somebody would want to go to get married there. It's very nice. It's very nurturing, very mother and nature-y. I know that's not a word, but yeah, it's great. I'm going to tell you how the journey was from my house to the place. So it didn't take us very long, Bedford. From London, we set off around 10:20 and got there around 12 midday. I kid you not. What I'm about to say, I hope isn't controversial, but this is such a typical Londoner mentality that when you leave London, you're not going to see black people, and I saw black people. And it's very silly for me to say that because obviously I know black people probably do live in Bedford, but I don't know. I just did not expect to see so much people of color. So no, but it was very, very, very refreshing to see. I don't get out of my house, okay? So I was a bit surprised to see people of color. Okay, so there's an animal circuit, and the aim of the circuit is to kind of see every animal in their natural habitats, like their kind of spaces. And at first when we went, they gave us like a guide. I would advise that the driver does not take the guide because you are driving at all times and you're driving at a very slow pace. I would say between 2 to 5 miles per hour. You are literally in a queue and you're following people. So the driver has to have a lot of attention and everything. The brochure kind of maps out exactly where the animals are. So if there's some animals that you just don't want to see, you just want to pass them, you can kind of, you know, go another route, or yeah, you can kind of customize it to how you would like the day to be. Perhaps you want to see the monkeys first thing in the morning or the lions later on in the day, but you are using your clutch a lot for drivers. Oh, one thing to mention, you are not allowed to enter this park without a car. You cannot walk. So do not try and get no train up there. No, it is a driving safari park. So do not, I repeat, try and get a train up there. First time I told my mom, she was like, let's take a train. I said, no, They do not allow you in the park without a car. They do not have cars on hand to take you around. So you have to drive. I'm sorry. Yeah, for anyone that didn't want to. But if you don't drive, there's, you know, the tigers they're just gonna eat you straight up, period, point blank. They're just gonna drag you straight. I must say, when I went, there was like 500 probably more cars parked. It was insane. When I went, you know, you always have this kind of perception of how the park's going to look. And I just did not anticipate seeing several cars, especially in the midst of lockdown. It wasn't that hot. It was quite a dull day, but it had a very, very good turnout. The amount of people that came, there must have been over 1,000 people, probably even more in the park. So really be prepared to be in a long queue for certain things. So the ticket, I pay for it online, but I think you can also pay there. I wouldn't risk that. It's not a big deal, but I just don't know. Like, there's no difference, to be fair, because I bought mine and my mum's ticket online and my brother bought his when he got there. So there's no difference in price. But I think just to get the flow of the trip going for the experience, I didn't really mind, because I haven't been to South Africa or Namibia or, you know, those places where they have like the best, or Kenya, that have the best, you know, safari parks. For me, this was an amazing experience, and I've always wanted to go to a safari. This is the first safari I've ever been to in my life. So I was prepared to pay almost £30 to go and see animals. I suggested before we went that we buy food, and I'm suggesting this to you as well. So I told my family, I said, let's buy food, and I mean like hefty food, and they didn't listen. They were like, no, we're not going to get food, blah, blah, blah. As soon as we got into the park and we were like an hour in, we were near the tigers or whatever, they were hungry. Their bellies were rambling. So I would suggest, yeah, and I know people are going to laugh at me, like, pack a hefty meal. I'm not even joking. Like, pack sandwiches or jollof rice or rice and peas. Like, I'm actually being serious, because it's, how can I say, not draining per se, but just be prepared to, you're going to exert yourself a little bit. So just be prepared to be full at all times, if that makes sense, so that you have like food to continue, because to get to the food part is the very last bit. You have to go around the whole circuit, and I think the whole circuit should be about 2 hours. Imagine if you're hungry at the beginning, you've driven all the way from London, and then 2 hours in, that's 3 hours you haven't had food. The thing is, you can actually park up on the side and look at the bears, and I would have like ate jollof rice in front of one bear. Like, do you know what I mean? So that's why I would say take food. But of course, if you'd like to experience the CAF as well, their food was really good. For 3 people though, I spent £36. For what it's worth, I mean, I guess it's decent, innit? I don't know how much they charge for food in safari places, but I guess it's a decent price. But I would have preferred if we had grabbed snacks from there rather than grab whole meals. And even when we ate, I don't think we were fully full with, but the food was really good. I'm not gonna lie. I had sausage and batter and chips and peas and, you know, whatnot. And the water is extortionate. It's £2. So again, pack water. So here are my tips, rules and regulations for entering this park that I think that everybody should abide by. Take your face mask. They do not play with that face mask. Like, I know it's open air and you're not really in a tight vicinity with people, but I would advise, just so that you don't get turned away, just take your mask. This is a massive one, right? So if you are like me and you like footage and you like taking pictures and filming, charge your phone, charge your camera to the highest capacity, like charge it, because when I mean you're going to be filming every and anything that your battery is going to absolutely drain. I did charge my stuff, but unfortunately I got there and it was just draining and draining and draining. I missed so much good stuff. My biggest regret is I didn't bring like a charger, like a portable charger. So please bring backup, bring extra batteries. Make sure you bring more than necessary, because you're going to film a lot of things. You're going to take a lot of pictures. In some parts of the park, there is absolutely no reception. When my brother went to the loo, I couldn't find him anymore because there's no reception. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. It's very bizarre, but there's no reception. So try not to lose each other, because you will never find each other again. It's a myth. Like, that place is big. So keep your eye on your kids, keep an eye on your dogs, your cats, whatever you bring to this park, because you might not find them again, because there is absolutely no reception. Clear all the memory on your phone or your camera. Do not have previous photos and videos of your nan's 87th birthday. Delete it. Store it somewhere, put it in a drive, because you are going to get so much footage. You're going to get so much photos. I was now sitting there kind of deliberating, oh, who shall I delete? Shall I delete my, shall I delete my 30th birthday, or shall I delete my trip to Thailand? Like, which one? Like, you don't want to be in that predicament. Do not, and I mean, do not open your windows. You will get shot. No, I'm joking. You won't get shot. But there are rangers on the park and they do not play that. I saw some tigers, had like a selfie stick, and I tried to put the selfie stick outside of the car. Man rolled up in his Jeep and he was like, no, we don't play that, madam. Close your window, blah, blah, blah.
Sorry. Sorry. Jesus. Oh. What did he say?
What'd you
Sorry, what'd you
say,
say?
mate? Huh?
What'd you say? Sorry.
Sorry, I got it. Sorry?
I don't know what you said.
Oh, sorry, I'm very, very quick. Just keep your windows closed on the carnival section.
Oh!
And I get where he's coming from because tigers are quick. Like, they could just leap into the car and that would be it. That would be done. Like, human meat for them, enjoyment. So I would say 100%, don't open your windows, but open your windows. But don't open your windows, you know? Just a little bit when the rangers are not there. But you get where I'm coming from. Like, just be smart with the windows. I'm not going to lie, there's some shots that you're going to want to get that if only you open the window, you'll be able to get this shot. Like, I couldn't zoom in without putting the stick out of the car. So there is this lovely, lovely, lovely duck ride, yeah. I had to convince my family into getting onto this duck ride, right? And it's so wonderful. It's in like this massive river, pond. I don't know. But yeah, it's so romantic. And when I got in that duck ride, I thought, oh my gosh, if I had a bay in here, this is so romantic, like literally so romantic. But anyways, I went with my mum and brother. They didn't want to go. And then when they got in, they were doing enjoyment. I was so annoyed because I had to convince them for like an hour or so. I'm like, we're getting on this ride. Like, whether you guys like it or not, we're getting on this ride. They're both kind of not social people. I know it's weird. So they don't like to do things. And I always have to kind of nudge them. And then eventually they have fun. So if you're ever with like people, family members like that as well, encourage them to kind of get on things because they'll end up having fun. So we got on this duck ride. Your child has to be over a meter to get on this ride. So if you have a child that is under a meter, you're not getting on this ride. They do not allow babies. Forget it. I will say, wait for your child to grow a meter and then take your child. Ooh, I didn't even think of dwarfism. I am sorry. I don't know. I don't have the answer for you there. I think that's something you should call the park about. But that duck ride, woo! It was so cool. It was so cool. I'll go there again. I'm not joking. The souvenir shop, it was okay. Price-wise, it was very decent. They sold your average stuff, the key rings, the fridge magnets, the teddies, the bags, you know. All in all, tickets aside, take about £50. I think £50 is enough money for 2 people. 4 people, maybe not, maybe 60. I don't think you have to take that much money. I don't remember seeing ATMs, so you definitely have to take cash. But luckily, there are contactless places in there. There's also a train that takes you around the park as well, but it doesn't take you around the full park. It just takes you like a quarter way of the park and you don't really see much. So I would say, yeah, no, don't bank on trying to walk in there. Please don't embarrass me. Don't tell them that Gia sent you and you ain't got no car. Don't do it. That's all I have for today. Here are some lovely moments with my family.
This is the donkey that Jesus sat on.
All right, thanks, Mum. Thanks for that commentary.
We have a father donkey, a mother donkey, and then a baby donkey.
Okay.
You caught a slip on.
Yeah, this is nice, bruv. So this monkey is currently on the car. Lord have mercy. It's proper scene on the car. There's the giraffes. Beautiful. I've got them. There's a family of lions there.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Oh, they're all getting up. Oh my goodness, look at the queue. Zoom in. That's it. That's perfect. If Junior wasn't here, what would I have done, bro? Nah, is this giraffe walking towards us? Wow, that's beautiful. I'm glad that you watched it. It's literally straightforward. I went to safari and had fun, and I'm just telling you guys about it. Now, if you go, please let me know. Feel free to DM me and let me know your experience. Let me know if I helped you. Let me know if I missed anything out. But yeah, this is me signing out. Gia Tabasco. I hope to see you next week on another episode of No Edges.